The game starts with Mario going for a stroll again, except without his friends and is by himself this time. Don't know if that's a great idea. Seriously, people need to stop going for strolls in the Mushroom Kingdom. You never know what can happen, like say Bowser popping out of a glass pipe out of nowhere again. Anyways, as Mario continues on, he finds black goo paint splattered across the ground and follows the trail, which leads him to an M sign splattered on the floor. Wow, is this a reference to Super Mario Sunshine? I think so. Mario then gets sucked in and teleported to Lake Lapcat. And after a brief encounter with the Godzilla version of Bowser, he eventually runs into Bowser Jr., who tells him that his dad has been acting strange of late and tripping out, and that he hasn't been his normal self. He then asks Mario for help and the game begins. Yes, just like that, Nintendo storytelling at its finest. Honestly, I have to mention that it isn't really explained why Bowser ended up in this overpowered Godzilla state in the first place. Makes me wonder if it has something to do with Bowser Jr.'s paintbrush or something. Oh well, moving on. Mario has all his abilities which carry over from 3D World. Mario's goal is to collect cat shines scattered across the world, collecting a certain amount of cat shines in order to gain access to a Giga Cat Bell power-up, which helps Mario face off against the new terrifying Giga Bowser. Once collecting the cat shine, you don't get booted out of a level, you just continue on traversing Lake Lapcat, exploring its many locations. Feels like the 3D Mario adventure games, more akin to that of Super Mario Sunshine and Odyssey, but uses Super Mario 3D World's engine. The world feels more connected and seamless than in any Mario game before. And after beating Bowser, you unlock a new section of the overworld map which you can then travel to. Main way of traveling between locations is using Mario's water surfing buddy named Plussy, who makes a return from 3D World. Traversing Lake Lapcat with Plussy feels so smooth, and you even have to use Plussy to collect certain cat shines. For example, activating certain rings which has Plussy's face on it in order to make a cat shine appear. Then in order to collect that cat shine, you have to be slick while maneuvering Plussy while trying to jump over obstacles and avoid slowing down in order to grab the cat shine before the time on the timer runs out. You can even use the famous Yoshi ditch move, where basically in the older games you could ditch Yoshi in order to survive falling into a gap. You can do the same with Plussy in order to reach high areas or destroy blocks as well. You can even take Plussy on land to attack enemies and destroy destructible objects in your path, like blocks or trees. I don't know why, but it feels fun. Another addition to the gameplay, which is a brand new feature for Bowser's Fury, but kinda reminds me of the older side-scrolling games, is that now you can select which power-ups you want to use at any given time. This is useful for avoiding game overs and restoring Mario back to normal size, allowing him to take extra damage. All the power-ups from 3D World return. You got the Super Mushroom, Fire Flower, Super Leaf, etc. Another thing to note is that if you find any question marks scattered across Lake Lapcat, you can now use Bowser Jr. by pressing the R button on the controller and using the gyroscope to aim and press the R button again to make Bowser travel to the selected waypoint, where he then uses his paintbrush to do some graffiti artwork, which then a power-up or a secret entrance like a golden pipe will pop out of nowhere and allow you to enter it and find some extra goodies, like coins. Mario feels smooth to control. Only downside is that he has less mobility than he did in Super Mario Odyssey. You can't really perform neat parkour tricks, and Mario himself even can't perform the triple jump, which is a downside in my opinion. Another thing that kinda bugged me is that in order to run faster and gain a boost while traversing, you have to hold down the Y button, which is fine. But during moments when things can get hectic, such as when Bowser appears, I have to readjust the camera and let go of the Y button, which slows down Mario's pace. And yes, I know that this being a 3D Mario game, the camera is 360 degrees and follows Mario in any given direction, but using the C-stick myself to reposition the camera is more dependable and reliable than waiting on the camera to readjust, which is a disappointment. This could have been fixed by giving Mario a fixed run speed, which doesn't feel too fast or slow like in Super Mario 64 or Odyssey and even Galaxy. I know you can just run at normal speed without holding the Y button to dash, but it feels slower here for some reason. That's just my opinion on that. Other than that, attacking, jumping, and platforming in this game feels amazing and smooth. Going back to Bowser, So the main gimmick of this game is that Bowser will occasionally appear accompanied by a killer heavy metal rock soundtrack, which is awesome, but I'll talk more about that in the soundtrack section. So when Bowser does appear, he usually summons black blocks and hurls his fire breath at you, which makes platforming even trickier, especially if you were trying to collect the cat shine and spent a few minutes trying to reach it just to have Bowser show up and rain fireballs down at you. Now you can dodge Bowser's fire breath attacks by taking cover behind walls and black pillars, or when traversing on Plussy, press the Y button to go for a dive, allowing a couple seconds to dodge any incoming attacks. You can also find Bowser blocks located in certain spots and then use Bowser to aim his fire breath attack at you to destroy the Bowser blocks, which usually hides a cat shine that you can then nab. Sweet. Thanks, Bowser! However, this is a much welcome added addition to the gameplay because it shakes things up and keeps the platforming and exploring interesting. Knowing that it's suddenly now raining and the music shifts to a darker tone, knowing that Bowser's going to spring out of nowhere and make my life a bit difficult, spices things up for the player. Well done, Nintendo. Another thing I have to mention is that in 3D World, I felt that the boss fights were way too easy. And that is still true in this game, thanks to having the novelty of summoning a power-up from your item inventory in case Mario takes too much damage. However, the boss fights in Bowser's Fury feel more grand and has more of an epic grander sense to it, and thanks to the soundtrack, it makes the overall boss fights against Bowser more enjoyable and heightens the experience, which I expect from a main 3D Mario installment from this franchise. Moving on to the presentation. The graphics look amazing, whether you are playing on the TV or in handheld mode. The frame rate does drop to 30 frames per second at 720p while playing in handheld mode compared to playing the game in dock mode on the TV where the frame rate is at 60 frames per second at 1080p. I never felt that the frame rate suffered during gameplay and was smooth throughout my whole playthrough. Maybe a couple times it did, but I didn't really notice and it didn't bother me as much, nor distract from the immersion or disrupt from the overall gameplay. I have to talk about the soundtrack, because wow, it is amazing. The main theme of Lake Lapcat relaxes me and gives me the mad chill vibes. Also, helps with meditating as well because, you know, self-growth and all that. Nah, but seriously, the soundtrack here is wonderful and each tune fits the locations in which you are going to explore while searching for the cat shines in order to stop Bowser in his tracks. Great job, Nintendo. They definitely know how to make amazing tracks for their games. So overall, I enjoyed my time with Bowser's Fury. Sure, it was a short but sweet experience taking about 3 to 4 hours to beat. However, you can increase that to 6 hours or more if you are trying to complete the game by locating and nabbing all of the cat shines. I truly do wish the game was longer and had more locales to visit and had different characters that you can interact with, such as piñatas or new characters even, but this was meant to just be a taste of what's to come in Mario's foreseeable near future. And I wish that Super Mario 3D World would have been this game. Having an open world setting, selecting characters such as Peach or Toad, and using their abilities to traverse the world would have been a neat addition. But overall, I can't complain, and I enjoyed Bowser's Fury for what it is. And I do see myself collecting all of the cat shines whenever I have some downtime by myself and just need to relax. If I could score Bowser's Fury on its own, I would give it an 8 out of 10. Now, as for the whole package, as Bowser's Fury is realistically just an add-on for Super Mario 3D World because, you know, Nintendo knew that's the only way they would sell more copies and make that guap. I give the overall package an 8 out of 10. Is it worth purchasing Super Mario 3D World just to play Bowser's Fury at full price? Probably not. However, for me, it is a must play and purchase, and I say that only because I am a fan of the 3D adventure style Mario games. But if I wasn't, I would still enjoy Bowser's Fury more than I would Super Mario 3D World, as Bowser's Fury truly does feel like a new generation Nintendo game and has more memorable gameplay. And come on, working with Bowser Jr. for the first time, you can't beat that. However, I still recommend the Super Mario 3D All-Star Packs if you have never played the old 3D style Mario games, or even Super Mario Odyssey over Super Mario 3D World on the Nintendo Switch. Wait for a sale if you can, and then make the decision whether to purchase it or not. That's all I have to say. If you made it to the end of the video, I just want to say thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video. and give it a thumbs up. It helps and supports my channel a lot. Let me know in the comment section, how did you feel about Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury? And is Bowser's Fury a great step into the future for Nintendo and Mario himself? Let me know. Well, always remember to stay rogue, my friends. Until the next Roguespirit Reviews episode. This is Jode Richohan. Thanks for watching, have a great day everyone, and stay safe. Goodbye.